oasis, a land of wide open spaces and secrets that the desert refuses to bury. Today, 3 true stories that will make you rethink the shadows outside your window. A creature staring nose to glass into a child's bedroom. A disturbing discovery in the Piney Woods that proves some humans are more dangerous than monsters. And the dark government secrets behind the Waco tragedy. Lock your doors. This is Anonymous in the Dark. My father shot it, point blank, with a 12-gauge slug. I saw the muzzle flash. I heard the boom that nearly shattered my bedroom windows. And then I watched as that thing simply turned and cleared. A 6-foot fence like it was nothing. In 1998, I learned that some things living in the Texas plains don't care about bullets. They only care about who's watching them through the glass. We had just moved into an old house on the edge of town. My brother and I shared a room in the back. Floor-to-ceiling windows, no curtains, just us and the pitch-black yard. One night we were just talking. Suddenly my brother stops. His voice goes thin, barely a breath. Shh. Don't move, be quiet. I thought he was joking. I whispered back, "Why?" He didn't laugh. He just pointed behind my head to the window. I turned around and my heart stopped. There was a massive canine head, nose to glass, staring right at me. We were inches apart. Just a single pane of glass between my face and whatever that was. I screamed. I was 10 years old, and I screamed like my soul was leaving my body. The thing bolted. My dad came in with his shotgun, but the yard was empty. He told me it was a nightmare. He told us to stop making things up. Typical parent stuff. But an hour later, after they forced us back into that room, we saw it again. We were huddled on one bed, staring at the fence. We saw it walking on all fours, but it was huge. The fence reached its mid-shoulder. It started sniffing the ground, circling. But it wasn't actually sniffing. It was staring at our window. While its head was down, it was pretending to be a dog. It was playing a part. It hopped the fence. No effort. It walked toward our window, but this time, it stood up. My dad was already outside, sneaking around the corner. He saw it stand up. He said, an instant feeling of pure dread hit him, like we were being hunted by something wrong. The flash lit up the whole yard. The creature was knocked sideways. But it didn't fall. It didn't even growl. It just ran. It cleared the back fence, the alleyway, and the neighbor's yard in one single 20-foot jump. Gone. We moved out 6 months later. My dad never told my mom the full truth until years later. He admitted he was terrified. He said the most unsettling part wasn't the size or the jump. It was the eyes. Even after the shot, it didn't look scared. It looked frustrated that the glass was in the way. I still live in Texas, and every time I stay in a room with large windows, I keep the curtains closed because I know that out there, something might be pretending to sniff the grass while it's actually like looking at me. A friend of mine worked for a man who inherited an old farmhouse. It was buried deep in the woods of East Texas. Abandoned for years, they went out there to clear the brush. Just a couple of guys with chainsaws and weed whackers. But the further they got down that driveway, the more they felt watched. When they finally reached the house, they found signs of life. Fresh trails in the grass, food still warm on the stove. Someone was living there, eating wild hog and catfish they'd caught in the creek. But then, things got weird. They found a domestic pig, alive in the shed, and in a small closet nearby, they found women's nightgowns and bras. It looked like whoever was living there was dressing that pig up in the most unsettling way possible. Then they saw the weapons, machetes, axes, sharpened sticks, hidden all around the property. The realization hit them like a physical blow. Whoever was living there hadn't left. They were just hiding, probably just a few yards away, in the thick trees, watching them. My friend didn't wait to find out. He left. He wouldn't go back, not for any amount of money. Because in the Piney Woods, you never know who's watching you or what they're doing in the dark. I've spent many hours talking with George Roden. His family founded Mount Carmel, the compound later taken over by David Koresh before its famous destruction. Hearing George's story, it's eerie. He was raised to believe he was the next Messiah. When Koresh swindled the cult away from his mother, George's entire world shattered. To him, Koresh wasn't a prophet. He was the embodiment of Satan. George lived in Odessa during the raid, suffering from severe mental issues. He fell in with unsavory people. He once shot a roommate because he believed the man was a Nazi. But the strangest part? Once a year, like clockwork, George would vanish from the state hospital. A black sedan would pull up, pick him up, and he'd be gone. It looked like CIA business, something out of a spy thriller. When he'd return, the U.S. Marshals would show up, asking questions. What was a rotund, mentally ill man doing in a black sedan once a year? He died recently, found with a broken neck, trying to climb back over a cattle gate at the hospital. An accident? Maybe. But in Texas, cults and government secrets often bleed together. George was a man who knew bad people and did bad things. But when he sat alone, murmuring in Hebrew, eyes fluttering, you couldn't help but wonder what he was actually seeing. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more true horror stories.